Hi everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar with Schneider Electric on Lisse wiring devices. The webinar will help you understand the key functions, the USPs, and typical solutions and applications Lisse presents. My name is VM Melki. I'm the marketing coordinator at Rexel. Our guest speaker from Schneider Electric is Mike Bancroft, marketing development and offer manager, who will be introducing himself shortly. Please note, this is a recorded webinar and will be available to watch on demand on our Rexel website. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to pop them in the Q&A box and we will answer them at the very end. Now passing over to Mike from Schneider Electric.
Thanks, WM. Appreciate the introduction, and good morning, good afternoon to everybody online. As introduced, my name is Mike Bancroft from Schneider Electric. I'm one of the offer managers, and in this instance, particularly responsible for the wiring device offers. One of which we're going to be running through today, our Lisse offer. Hopefully, it'll provide you with some insights into the product. And a little bit of detail around some of the best opportunities that we have using the product, some of the applications, and as I say, just give you a good taster of the products and the features and the scope of the offer. So we'll move on. There's a series of slides that we've got. I've got some product hopefully as well that we can interact with, just to give you a little bit more of an insight, but hopefully it'll be of interest and prove to be of some use to you. Any questions, drop them in the chat and we'll pick them up at the end. So from an overall perspective, we really categorize our products really into three groups. We have our white molded offer, which is our traditional product that most manufacturers offer. We have a decorative offer to complement the offer there, and we've also got a weatherproof range, which from a Schneider perspective and from a Lisse perspective is very much an integral part of the Lisse offer. We'll come on to that as we get towards the product offer there, but we'll see how that interacts and interfaces a lot more with the Lisse product specifically. So I guess as a top level view, and some of these points we're going to be covering, we're going through in a little bit more detail. What does Lisse actually give us? Well, it's certainly a product that we see very much value for money. It sits within the residential light commercial market. And gives us a whole array of different applications. As we've said, we've got molded, we've got decorative and weatherproof. And each of those really sort of interface and interact. We're going to be looking at some of these in particular, and the areas that we see very much as growing opportunities around our grid or modular switch range. Again, we've got some details of that coming shortly, and also linking into the likes of our Euro module and Euro Connect product, which really give the user very much greater flexibility in delivering solutions really bespoke to the applications. So some of the points you can see on the screen to say we'll actually pick up on and talk on in a little bit more detail, but it just gives you a very, very quick overview, picks up on some of the options we've got around upgrading facilities with Lisse. We provide a very flexible system, and we've got some unique products and some features within the product that help you, the distributor, but also the contractor as well, to help improve installations. The profile of the product, whether it be a Lisse molded or decorative, has got a very curved appeal, very much sort of moved on from the traditional square edge product, and certainly well liked and desired within the marketplace. And as I say, some of the key USPs and the features of the product we'll come on to in a short while. So first of which, let's just have an in-depth look really around our white molded product. And again, we've already probably covered some of the points previously around the curve profile, but you can see with the images that we've got there and the product that's in front of me, you can see we've got a very subtle curve there, nice rounded corners, and the rockers complement the design of the product. Again, very much moved on from the traditional square edge product. Right across our offer, we've got a point there that we talk about data and connectivity. So when we talk about grid and we talk about Euro, for us, that's complementary right across the entire offer. So things like our media plates, grid plates all the way up to 9 and 12 gang, really complement right across both the moulded and the decorative products. Again, we'll touch on some of those in a short while. Some of the features that we offer are very much geared towards the user. You can see in the top right there a picture of our standard USB socket with an integral shelf unit. That's an add-on extra that we supply. It's a small little unit that just sits behind the product and really facilitates, makes it easy for the home office or even from a work office or from a student workplace, where you can just drop your mobile phone just on the top of the shelf and drop a short lead in, and it helps minimize any risk or trip or the aggravation of leads lying around the premises. And then flexibility is an area we really are going to come on to in a little bit more detail with some hands-on examples. So first, a little bit more about the I guess the installation features of the product, something that the installer, certainly with the time that the product has been on the marketplace, we've found has been sort of tried and tested and proven. So we always have been developing products and design products effectively from the back. So we work from the back to the front, making sure that from an installer's point of view, we're giving the maximum space around the product to allow and to facilitate the wiring. So we work on minimal back projection, and for Lisse, we have a 7mm front projection. So whilst it's a raised edge plate, it's certainly not a large, thick plate. It's still got a style with it, and I think coupled with the curved profile of the product really makes it an attractive looking product in most applications and most installations. Now, all of the terminals and all of the facilities on the back of the product, connection facilities, they're all backed out terminals. So from an installer's point of view, they simply need to just drop the conductors in and tighten straight down. We also provide, on a number of our products, we offer a cable or flex trimming guide. Okay, there's a little tab on the bottom of the product there that allows the installer just to make sure that they've got the adequate, the right length of cable just to drop into the back of into the product. One feature on all of our sockets is that we still provide a twin earth option. Now, we know that the regulations have changed a little bit around the need for high integrity earthing. It's still there, it's still recognised. We still believe it's an important feature and a user benefit in providing those two earth terminals. From a point of view, I guess, of a retrofit or a refurbishment application, where quite simply the earth wire could be dropped into the back of the product at either side, making it, again, really easy for termination. From a socket point of view, all of our live and neutral connections are really around the center line of the product. So again, makes it and facilitates its connection really so much easier, depending where those cables are coming down, whether they be on the left, right, top or bottom, provide it really easy access into the terminal. And point 3 that we've got on there, if we just turn that to the side, you can see on the image, we've got these as angled terminals. Again, really important to speed up installation, because more often than not, obviously the electrician may be working kneeling down and leaning over the product. Effectively, if we now turn the product sideways, you can see that those terminals are straight, making it very easy to access with the conductors, and it gives them plenty of space between the wall and the back of the socket there to get a screwdriver into the top of the terminals. So really easy, really quick, and very simple to connect. Now, we use a grey across all of our products, which again make it very easy for wiring, certainly in dim light. All of the cable markings, really, again, as we said, really to help with the right connection lengths. There's a feature, unfortunately, just appeared there, number 5, talks about the marking. We'll refer back to that in a few moments. I think that image, unfortunately, probably crept into the slide here. So one of the things I've said and come back to a couple of times already is this point around range optimization. So what do we mean by it? Well, when we developed Lisse, what we were eager to do is to try and limit the number of products, but still provide the width of wallet, width of the offer. When I say try to limit the range of products, not from a manufacturing point of view, but from a stocking point of view and from a working point of view. So if we take the next image, here's an example of such. A classic product, switch fuse connection unit or an unswitched fuse connection unit. Now we know in applications, there's probably at least 4 different permutations, variations of product that the customer, the installer, will actually need. And you can see that they're listed there, either a straight, unswitched, switched, and so on. So you can see that there's probably around about 8 configurations of product that the customer, the installer, might need at any point. But we've been able to reduce, excuse me, we've been able to reduce the offering down a little bit with Lisse. Hopefully some of you have already experienced it and seen it. Certainly some of the customers that we speak to on our travels and on our roadshows have started to understand and use it and very much like the benefit. So refer back to our standard fuse connection unit that we've got there. And now, as we saw, and we can see on the screen there, we do a number of different options, typically requirements for it, sorry. So you can see in the middle of the screen there, we've got an LED indicator and a flex spacer frame. So the LED indicator is, in truth, an additional item that we supply as a spare or as a service part. They're supplied in little convenient bags and packs of 5, and they can be used right across the Lisse offer. So how do we use them? Well, the LED indicator is obviously a requirement to allow an LED to illuminate the front plate to show that the product's connected and it's powered. So the LED traditionally is connected and fitted to the back of the product, no different here, but the difference is the LED can be supplied and fitted to a unit without the neon in the first place. So you can take a standard switched fuse connection unit without the neon option and simply plug the LED indicator into the back of the product you saw earlier. There's 2 little locations. We have one there and we have one at the top there. And the little tabs of the LED simply plug straight in. Now, one of the things that we designed into the product, obviously you'll see that there's no LED window or lens on the front of the product. Well, that's because we reduced the wall thickness of the front molding. So when the LED is positioned and located, you actually get a glow through the front plate. So if I move on to the next slide, and you can see that a little bit more clearly. Firstly, you can start to see the components appearing on the back of the product. Sorry, on the bottom of the slide that we've illustrated on the back of the product. And you can see an example here of the 2-gang socket mounted on the wall. We now move on to the next slide. You can see what happens when we switch that on with the LED in place behind the front plate. We actually get this red glow protruding through or illuminating through the front plate. And that gives adequate illumination of the LED. But of course, hopefully what you've been able to see with this part of the presentation is that we've taken a standard product, we've added a standard module, standard LED module, simply connected it into the back of the product, and with one product and one spare part, we've been able to double the configurations. Now, when we look at a fuse unit with the flex outlet, we include the flex outlet option on all of our units. And we also provide the additional flex outlet frame, you can see on the slide here, as an add-on service item as well. And that supports things like our 20 amp switches. That frame is also supplied with a cord grip arrangement. And on our 20 amp switches, we supply the product without the flex outlet. That's available when you purchase the flex outlet frame. So that, as I say, is an integral pack with the frame and the flex outlet unit. So again, another item, another service item that can be used right across the range of products. We also offer a standard item, the spacer, as a 1 and 2 gang product. So if there are instances where you need a little bit more depth, or maybe the back box didn't allow the full cabling facility or space at the back of the product, then it's possible to put that spacer in and just jack or pull the product a little bit further forward, giving more access to the back of the product. The other benefit with the flex outlet frame from the purpose of, say, 20 amp switches is that it allows slightly larger capacity flex to be located and fitted at the back of the product. Because we use a standard 7mm thick front plate, what we don't end up having to do is put a bit of a bulge on the front of the plate to allow that heavier gauge flex or cable to come out of the product. Simply use the flex outlet frame. There's a little cutout on the product that tallies up with the cutout that you can see, or the knockout on the plate, giving you a full 10mm diameter to adequately locate and secure the flex. So 2 little features and 2 little products that we've got within the offer that really optimize the range. And that frame and the LEDs are also compatible with virtually all of the Lisse products. So even our socket outlets, we have the option to fit those LED indicators in the back of the product and locate and plug into the back of the terminal configuration, again as an add-on. So it means that there isn't a need to carry a switch socket with LED applications or LED options already built in. They can be added to a later date, and they can be added virtually on site by the contractor. We move on a little bit now. And another feature that we incorporated into our switches is a looping terminal on the back of back of all of our switches. Now that effectively is a dummy terminal, a dead terminal. It's not connected to anything in the switch, but it allows the installer to adequately locate the neutral terminals in a lighting circuit, and certainly very much something that we've seen transit through installation practices is dropping the neutral down the wall and dropping it into the switch box rather than terminating it into the pendant or to the ceiling. Just gives a lot more scope, a lot more flexibility. And with the changes in requirements and introducing more control-based products, smart products, then that neutral terminal becomes functional in instances where certain relays and devices that are fitted in place of a wall switch need a neutral connection or have to have a neutral connection. So, as I say, the installers generally very much fitting neutrals and dropping neutrals down the wall. Now, one of the areas we've not addressed so far in our session today is the benefit that we have with Lisse, and that's around the need for antimicrobial protection. Now, we've become, I guess, a lot more familiar and aware of antimicrobial, unfortunately, over the last few years with COVID and lockdown, and the benefit that an antimicrobial solution gives to products and gives to applications, whether they be schools, colleges, educations, care homes, hospitals, and the like. And all of our Lisse products, our Lisse white molded products, are fully antimicrobial protected. Okay, so you can see on the slide what that antimicrobial protection provides in terms of the kill rate and the level of protection that Lisse has from that install point of view. Now, from a Lisse perspective, the benefit or the antimicrobial solution is a form of an additive that's actually within the molding material of the product. Because it's a urea-based material rather than a melamine or a nylon or a PVC or a polycarbonate, it has inherent properties to actually protect against the viruses, the bacteria, and so on. Now, it really depends on the level of material and the grade of materials that are being used as to the overall protection values that you get. As I say, we've fully certified for antimicrobial across the Lisse range. Now, one of the benefits really in the feature that we've already spoken about in terms of the LED option is because that LED shines through the front plate, we're not adding a small polycarbonate window or an area with crevices and cracks where germs could actually start to collect. Effectively, the front plate is fully wiped clean, and the LED, as I say, shines through that plate, really reducing the risk of any further bacteria germs gathering. Now, to I guess move on a little bit through the solutions of Lisse, whilst we're talking about it here in the moulded offer, this really encompasses details within the decorative offer as well. We've got the features of the product there, and this is really sort of just demonstrating our lockable product, which really covers us from a commercial application. Tends to be used a lot in public spaces where there's a need to provide either switching or socket outlets, maybe for cleaners or maintenance purposes, but they're not intended for public use. So we incorporated those into the Lisse offer. And the product at the bottom, which is our fan isolator, we have, as we did with Ultimate, when we launched that a little while ago, we've included an integral locking facility. Unique facility and a unique feature within the Lisse offer and the Ultimate offer to have that integral lock. And we supply it with a dedicated key. And you can see the inset shot there really just illustrating how that mechanism operates. Key just drops in and a very sort of quick twist lock. The benefit is when it's in the off position and locked, it physically provides a mechanical disconnection between the rocker and the terminals. So it's impossible without reactivating, unlocking the product to actually switch the circuit back on. And that's really important because fans and isolators, whilst they're obviously facilities within bathrooms, you often may find that the switch and the fan itself may not necessarily be in close proximity of each other. So from the installer's point of view, or the person maintaining the fan, has got peace of mind that obviously once it's isolated, it remains dead until he comes back with the key to unlock. So we concluded that the bulk of sort of the summary of our moulded offer within Lisse. We're now going to just touch on a few of the key features around our decorative offer. Now you can start to see with the image on the screen there, we saw earlier, even our metal product has that very curved, very subtle curved profile. You can see that's quite illustrated well in the centre image that we've got on the screen there. And I guess really just to help understand where the Lisse product sits within the overall family of products, you can see there that we've got a full suite of different profile products, a different style, different design products through Lisse all the way up to our Ultimate screwless flat plate product. So Lisse has our 7mm profile, as we said, the moulded product and the decorative share that profile, and that really services very much what we class as our medium and our value for money decorative offer. Now, from a unique perspective, we're one of the very few to offer a decorative product in this particular area with the screwless fittings. Okay, now we've seen screwless come into the market very significantly around flat plate, and when we launched the Lisse Deco offer, we very much introduced that feature, having the very smooth lines, very clean finishes of the product right across the decorative offer. We look a little bit more closely into the product, and again, you can see on the shot, on the inset shot there, the removable front plate. The benefit that front plate gives us, obviously from an install point of view, is it's the last thing to be fitted before the installation is completed, so reduces the risk of damage to the front plates. Now, the product itself can still be installed, can still be tested without the front plate fitted, so they can actually almost complete it as an additional phase. And then once the installation's been cleaned down, wiped down, dust removed, then the front plates effectively can be snapped on. They're easy to remove, so it's not fitted and then not possible to remove by using just a small screwdriver into the side of the plate, and just a subtle twist really will start to remove and unclip the front plate from the back moulding. So it's very simple to remove. I say very easy, has to be used with a tool, but that also then makes it easier for a redecoration at a later stage. Front plates can be simply clipped off, decorating completed, and the front plate dropped back on. Now, the slight difference with the decorative range, obviously we can't have LEDs that show through a metal plate. It's not practical. So in these instances, we do have to have a small window and lens for the LED to shine through. But you can see in the image, it is very small, but it's still quite a nice, intense, bright light that will still shine through that small space, but very sort of unobtrusive in the look and feel. From a footprint point of view, with the accessories, very simple, very easy to upgrade from a molded product to the metal without actually showing too much of the witness lines from any previous decorations. Now we'll probably move over the next slide, because the features that we've got really across our decorative product are identical to the features that we've already spoken about really with the Lisse molded product. But again, that just gives you the clarification and the status of those features. Now, within Lisse, certainly the Lisse Deco range, we've added a few little subtle features and add-ons when we refer to sort of accessories within Lisse. You can see on the right-hand side of your screen there a couple of examples of those. Certainly the most popular one is the shelf that you can see on the USB socket there, which we produce in a 1 and a 2 gang size, and also a white and a black. So it'll fully complement both the decor of the room, but also the product, whether you're using a product with a white insert or a black insert. And we still keep to both white and black. Certainly the focus groups and the customers that we speak to like the clarity of a white and a black insert, certainly from the surroundings. On the right-hand side of your screen there, you can also see we do a couple of other options. We provide a little clip facility to put a note or a card or some information if that needs to be retained by the switch, whether it just be a short term for I don't know, to remind somebody to do. And we also do a little hook option, which may be handy for the dog lead or for a spare key or whatever else. But as I say, the most popular one that we've certainly found has been very much the shelf option. Now the beauty with the add-on there, it's perfectly profiled to match the outer perimeter of the product, the socket in this instance, so it gives a very neat, very clean look when it's installed. That also means that obviously it's dedicated to the Lisse product. We have had in some instances where people have tried to fit the shelf onto another manufacturer's socket. We obviously can't guarantee that it's going to give a perfect fit, a tidy installation, and thereafter. But as I say, it's very much really designed for the Lisse product. Another add-on feature that we've incorporated into the range is this illuminated frame, a night illumination frame. And you can see that the pictures really sort of help demonstrate the use of the product. Again, this is an add-on, so it can be added to the product at a later date, and it gives a very subtle blue glow around the top and the bottom of the product. It's a clear frame with the LEDs. You can see the product that's located in the picture there. And that's just connected into the back of the product, and it's designed to illuminate when the lighting is in the off position, so there's no light. Obviously that gives you the focal point to know where the switch is. As soon as the light's switched on, then that blue glow drops off. And again, from an application point of view, perfect for kids' rooms, maybe for hallways, for public areas, for healthcare units, care homes, etc., where you're providing that added peace of mind, that added guidance for to locate the switch. We now move on to our products that we really class as our flexible and convenient sort of solutions, and this is predominantly around our grid systems. Now, grid has been very much around us for many years and is really sort of complementary to most accessory offers. Very much the same with Lisse. Again, the design and the profile of the product is really designed to complement Lisse. The rocker modules and the rockers themselves, again, the profile of the rocker cap and the profile itself really complements Lisse. So bringing in the metal clad offer and the rest of the metal plate, the decorative offer in Lisse, and the standard decorative switches and sockets, you'll find it really complements. Now, grid has been very much used in the residential environment now around a lot of new homes where they're used to control both lighting and also to provide the switching for appliances. Again, Lisse is a perfect solution for that. I'll move on to another couple of slides really that just help demonstrate the products, and we'll come on to a very sort of quick overview of how that offer works, because we've got some unique features again that we've incorporated into the system, which again, hopefully some of you will already be very familiar with. We offer a series of marked products and also a solution to produce products to customers' own marking requirements. So if there's any unique markings required, then we've got the facility to print that. So in terms of how the offer really works and how it goes together, you can see on this very simple sort of slide, on the left-hand side, you can see the arrangement of plates that we offer from a 1 to a 12 gang configuration in an array of different finishes, and you can see those listed. So we've got in total around 56 SKUs, 56 product references there. Now, the reason we've got a number of, well, quite a large number of those, I guess, is that we supply the color option, whether it be a white or a black insert. We supply that with the plate rather than with the module, okay? And we do that whilst that may seem a fairly large number of product references, that's covering all of the colorways and both the white and black options. If we to include it with the grid modules, then all of a sudden, where we've got a huge array of different switch configurations, if we were to offer those in a black and white option, then that doubles up. And on our standard grid modules, we also offer those without the rocker caps. Come back to that in a few moments. So from a module point of view, we've really tried to reduce the number of permutations, the number of variations required. So again, reducing the level of physical products required to be carried at any one time. So just concluding the rest of the image, you can see we've got mounting boxes dedicated to suit the certain frame sizes of the plates, and you can see the array of modules that we offer from the standard on the left-hand side all the way through to fuse units, indicators, emergency test functions, and so on. And again, we've got some marked options there, and again, the facility to produce bespoke marking arrangements. Now, I mentioned in terms of the white and black options with the plate, there's just a visual indication of that, and they're provided by either the black collar or the white collar, and they're supplied with the front plates. We do offer them as a spare part, so if they do get lost or mislaid, then they are available, and maybe in some instances, some customers may always choose the white plate, unless obviously they're going for the mocha bronze or the satin brass, but that really sort of standardizes on the white version, and then just carry the black options just as the collar, so that they can actually just supply those as an additional item and simply take the white one out and drop the black one in. It's that easy just to switch from one configuration to another. And I mentioned about the rocker modules supplied with and without the cap. So you can see on the screen there we've split it a little bit. So we refer to some as capless modules and some as a complete module. Now, all of our standard switch configurations, which I guess accounts for maybe sort of 70% of the grid configurations that we're going to come across, we supply, as I say, without the rocker cap fitted. So that really makes it fully universal in terms of the color options, the colorways that you're going to be using. And the rocker cap itself supplied, as I say, as that additional item, and the two devices simply just snap together and the job's done. Okay, so we've now coded that as a stainless steel option. So really, again, from an installer's point of view, really flexible, really variable from the installer's perspective. So we're going to move on a little bit further now, really in terms of our connected, what we refer to as a connected solution. And really this is picking up the opportunity to provide, again, a flexible system around primarily data, TV, AV systems. Okay, again, it's already sort of progressing through the marketplace, and we offer a full arrangement of configurations really within both Lisse and Ultimate. You can see a couple of examples how we've demonstrated that the use of this sort of product. On the left-hand side, you can see one of our media plates, a single row media plate there with the add-on of the Euro modules to the right. And on the right-hand side, it's all about understanding how and where products need to be installed. So in this instance, what we've got is power connection behind the TV, as well as a media plate connecting the back of the product, back of the TV, really into the cupboard below where we've got our equipment, and it provides a very smooth, neat application. So I guess we've come quite a way from what would have been traditional bespoke, or what we class as monoblock products, where we've got every configuration in a dedicated plate. We still offer some of those. There are still some of those configurations available, but over time we're finding customers are moving very much more to this Euro configuration. And you can see there on the screen, if we go to a monoblock configuration, we've probably got something like 100+ product references really that satisfy each of the different requirements for TV connections. And obviously with the evolution of connection requirements to get the best terrestrial or satellite services, then often they've expanded the number of configurations required, because they've needed either dual coaxes, they've needed data points, they may have needed telephone points, all to be connected onto a single plate. So from a monoblock point of view, we've started really to move away and very much sort of move to our Euro plate option. So again, from a design point of view and a style point of view, it's really, again, complements the whole of the Lisse offer. So in terms of the plate profile, styling, rocker profiles, the only difference is obviously here we've got the apertures for the Euro modules to drop straight in. But again, that makes it really flexible instead of having to produce and supply and stock dedicated plates with bespoke configurations. So on the screen now, you can see again how that flexibility really sort of rolls through. You can see the plates that we've got available from a single up to a quad configuration, and then we've got the media plate configuration, which is a 2-row unit in all of the different color combinations, and then our Euro modules effectively we offer in primarily in a white and a black option, really to complement the rest of the interior. Now, because it's Euro, whilst we have an arrangement of nearly 30 different combinations and colours of modules, then what we do find is if there is a bespoke configuration that maybe a customer has, and maybe a fibre connection or a dedicated data point that's unique to the installation, then, as I say, because it's a Euro configuration, then that module can simply snap straight into the Lisse plate. So from a project perspective, it's very easy then to make sure that the design, look and feel of the installation using the decorative plates can follow through even to the installation of dedicated data points, data connections, and so on. So we're now going to move on to the last offer within the Lisse range, and that's our Weatherproof, which we introduced just over, I suppose, about 12 months ago now, and again has proved to be highly successful in its IP protection and the range of products that we offer within the suite. So I'll glance over this a little bit. There's quite a lot of copy there to run through, but I think in all intents and purposes, one of the key messages to come out of the Weatherproof range is it sits within our lease offer, and there's a reason why it sits in the lease offer is that it's fully integrated and fully compatible with the range of lease products, meaning that you can take a standard lease white molded product and actually drop it into a weatherproof enclosure. Okay, we'll come on to some of those examples in a second. So that really links it and really builds it very strongly as part of our lease offer. So first off, it's all IP66. So whether it be a switch, whether it be a socket, whether it be the RCD socket, or whatever the combination, or our multi-use units, they're all rated at IP66, whether that be obviously in its dormant stage with nothing connected, or during operation. So there's no hinge flaps to lift or membranes to work through, and there's no requirements to derate it as soon as you drop a plug into the socket. So it's IP66 all the way through the range offering. Now again, we developed and put into a number of key features and useful features, both from an install point of view to simplify it, make it easy, but also from a user's point of view. So cable seals really run through and seals right across the product, whether it be the flexible cable seals we've got in the hinged cover that adequately really seal the flex. Again, tends to be a fairly popular method and solution for all flexes and all weatherproof products. But we've also got internal seals, both in terms of where the hinge cover fits over the rest of the frame, and also when you're installing it, we've got a very sturdy, secure seal between the back box and the product itself, the surface, the front section of the accessory. You can see that on the screen with the black seal around the back of the product. Now we also incorporated or retained the cutout option on our enclosures. Rather than moving to a pull-out or a pop-out plug that sits on the enclosure, we retained from our previous weatherproof range the cutout option. It might seem a little bit more fiddly, but the benefit that it gives you is that if it's not required and you're not using all of the cable entry points, then it still provides a very secure and tamper-resistant restriction to the product. Okay, so the access to the enclosure has to be done through that cutout, either through a little hole saw or through a blade, just to cut out the wall around the 20mm section. Now the white line that we've got, the white circle that we've got over the top of the image, is that whilst we provide cutouts for 20mm, there is a little dimple you can see on the picture there. Now that dimple is offset purposely to actually provide a center point for a 25mm hole saw. You drop the hole saw onto that little dimple, and it'll actually cut it off center to the 20mm hole. But what it does do, it drops a perfect 25mm hole through the enclosure, and it gives it the right location, the right position from the wall the enclosure is being mounted on to drop the conduit down. So you're not having to fabricate the conduit to add an additional sort of swan neck in to give it to make it fit with the new hole that you put into the side of the box. Really well liked by a lot of installers because it's so easy to adapt. Now on the switch range that we've got, all of the enclosures are provided with an LED option, and that option can be used to either provide it as a seat light facility. So in a dark walkway or passageway, you've got a little red LED that shines through to indicate where the switch location is, or used conventionally to actually indicate whether the circuit's on or off. So if the switch and the appliance or the application, whether it be a light or for heating, then you can clearly see the contact status. So again, provides you with the option to configure. Now, we spoke about the facility and the fact that it's very much Lisse compatible. This is just a very quick sort of visual to indicate how easy it is to swap or change or to add products. So we provide two enclosures, a 1-gang and a 2-gang size enclosure that effectively we class as a multi-use unit, and it's not fitted with any product inside, purposely for the installer to fit whichever product that they want out of the Lisse offer. You can see we've selected a USB socket there, or a 20 amp or a 32 amp switch as the other example. And very easily we supply with it a kit of fixing screws, and you can see on the image at the back there that those fixing screws literally just locate at the back of the frame for the weatherproof enclosure, and they just secure around the edge of the accessory, locking it securely into place. Okay, so it's loaded from the back and it's secured from the back. So again, it's impossible to access. And just a few examples of how that multi-use enclosure can actually provide flexibility. If you wanted a more complicated or different configured switch mechanism, switch solution, then you can use the Lisse grid system there. Or the other examples, we've used our Europlate option, drop that into the enclosure, and we've used standard Euros. So again, if you've got a weak spot and you can't get Wi-Fi connection externally, that is often quite difficult if you've got a lot of glassware, glass frames, glass walls, or you want a more dedicated and more secure data connection, or maybe if it's a pub or a children's area where you may want to from time to time put sound, put speakers in, then again you can drop those in through the Euro modules and provide you a really secure method. The other feature that I didn't indicate but demonstrate is that all of the socket outlet units and the versions with the hinge lids have got these little holes in. You can drop a simple hasp padlock just to lock that device in place. The locking mechanism itself, with the thumb tabs on the top of the product, they provide a very simple but secure and very positive lock that they click into place when the cover's locked, really giving a real reassurance that the product has been locked and shut, and you've got that maximum IP protection. So we'll just move into the Q&A session. I think we've just got to the quite convenient to the end of the presentation now. But I guess just to summarise, hopefully you've seen today with Lisse that we've got a full complementary offer all the way from our moulded through to our decorative and the weatherproof option, really giving you a single solution, really a single range that's designed, that's complementary to each other, to really service a whole range of different applications. So from my point of view, thanks very much indeed for listening. Hopefully it's been of interest and of benefit to you. If there are any questions, we'll certainly pick up on those. If there are any other questions that maybe you'll come up with at any point or have, then please fire them through, and they'll get passed on to me, and we'll come back and answer those for you. So thanks again, and hopefully it's been a good session for you.
Thank you so much, Mike, for the comprehensive presentation. We don't have questions at the moment, so if you guys have any questions, you can pop it in. We can wait for a few seconds. Yeah, just a reminder, so we have all the webinars are available on demand on our Rexel Insight page. And yeah, like Mike said, if you have any comments or feedback after the webinar, you can always reach out to us and we can put you in touch with Mike. marketing@rexel.co.uk is our email. So I guess, Mike, you covered everything for today. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, everyone. And we'll be in touch soon, hopefully, for future webinars. Stay tuned.
Thanks again, and hopefully speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.